Okay, so welcome to today's masterclass. My name is Desiree Stafford, and I am excited to share with you what I think are really the essentials to playing a bigger game. So this masterclass is called Play Big, Unleash Your Multiple 6-7-Figure Potential. And it's really for you if you're desiring to break through to your next level of income and impact. And so I'm going to share with you some of the key teachings, takeaways that I've gotten from my own growth this year, as well as my clients' growth this year. And I will tell you that in order to be able to take your life and your business to the next level, it's a pretty simple process. We tend to overcomplicate things, and I want to make it very simple for you. So if you're here live, I'm glad that you're here live. If you're going to be watching the replay, I really want you to understand that the shifts that you're desiring to experience in your life and your business are simple shifts. They do require courage. If I were to boil it down to the most simple thing, it requires courage. It doesn't require a lot of work, doesn't require a lot of effort. It's just a matter of, are you willing to go for what it is that you say that you want? That's really what it comes down to. So I really want to talk about three main things here today. Because as they relate to helping people grow their businesses, these are the biggest shifts that my clients make, and that allows them to celebrate 20K, 50K, 100K plus months without really needing to change much else in terms of their strategy. So the first thing I want to share with you is that if you desire to experience more in your life, experience more in your business, and I'm talking about more freedom, more fun, more abundance, more joy, more aliveness, more any of that stuff, the first thing you really have to do is decide that you're the one, right? You've got to decide for yourself that you are the one for your ideal clients, for the people that you're here to serve. And the reason I say this is because if sales are not flowing to you consistently, it's likely not your lead gen strategy. It's likely not that you're not showing up consistently and putting out offers and letting people know what you have. It's likely that the way that you're doing it or who you're being when you're doing it is not the fullest, most embodied or most empowered version of yourself, right? You know, if you're showing up in the marketplace sheepishly, unapologetic about what it is that you're offering, that's not going to attract sales. It's not going to magnetize clients to you. You've got to decide for yourself that you are the one. And I work with so many people who are powerhouses, and myself included, where there was a hesitation of claiming that, right? You kind of think to yourself, well, who am I to say that? Who are you not to, right? If you don't decide that you're the one, how will anyone else see you that way, right? I think a lot of times what we do is try to do things backwards. We think that, well, we're waiting for the clients to say that we're the one, right? However we expect that to be done. We're waiting for the accolades in terms of social media. You're waiting for people to like and engage with your comments, engage with your content more before you decide that you're the one. It doesn't work that way. You decide that you're the one, and then you'll see that reflected back to you in your outside reality. This is really a mindset. It's an attitude shift. It's about you choosing to be the version of yourself that you desire to be today without needing to see evidence of it in the physical world. You must decide for yourself, right? You've got to decide how you're going to think and feel about yourself. Your job is not to manage how other people think and feel about you. Your job is to manage how you think and how you feel about yourself, first and foremost. Now, this isn't to say that you're never going to have a doubt, that you're never going to second guess yourself, but you want to come back to believing that you're the one, right? This is where self-compassion comes in. A lot of the clients that I work with, brilliant women, brilliant. I mean, myself included, just so much in our heads, right? We know so much that can change people's lives. But then if you don't know how to deal with the emotional stuff, if you don't know how to really work with yourself when you're experiencing fear and when you're experiencing doubt, then that starts to take over. And you allow the fear and you allow the doubt to rule you rather than coming back to the truth of who you are, which is the fact that you are the one for your people. You're not going to be the one for everybody. Not everybody's going to love your stuff. Not everyone's going to like your stuff. Not everyone's going to need it or understand it. And that's okay. There are how many billions of people in the world? You don't need everyone to get it. You don't need everyone to think that you're the one. You need one person to believe that. And it has to be you first, right? When you believe that you're the one for your people, when you believe that your work will change their fucking life, and let me just let you know that I'm a little amped up today. So I may be dropping F-bombs every now and again, probably not a lot, but it may come out. So if you have children in the room, probably mute or put them out of the room for a moment, or if you're watching the replay, pause it until you can get your situation together and come back. Because I don't want to have to censor myself and, hold back on the message that I really want to communicate to you here because I'm worried about what I might say. So here's the deal. When you decide that you're the one, when you have enough self-compassion for yourself so that you're not telling yourself that you can't be the one, because if you're a relationship coach and sometimes you argue with your husband, then you're a fraud. If you're a business coach and you help people make more money and sometimes you're not making the level of money that you want to make, that you're a fraud. That if you're a health coach and you're not at the ideal perfect weight that you want to be at, that you're a fraud. That's bullshit, right? Like that's not the truth. And that's where it really comes back to having that self-compassion, to understanding that you don't need to be perfect for you to be the one for your people, right? For you to be the one that can help your people see things from the perspective that they need to see things in order for them to have the breakthrough necessary for them to get the results. That your life experience matters. That the wisdom that you have gained matters. And if you can share that with people from a powerful place, not from this timid place, but if you can share it from the fact that you know that it's powerful, that it is valuable, then your people can actually receive it. They can pick up what you're putting down. You can create massive shifts within your clients when you own your own story, when you own the value of your experience and your perspective. Right? The same is true for your marketing. You will magnetize the people that you're meant to serve when you own who you are and what you bring to the table. That's what I mean about deciding that you are the one. I do a lot of mindset work with my people because this is the area that's responsible for the biggest shifts in their lives and their businesses, right? It's not that when people come to work with me that I do some magic with their offer for them to explode their businesses. No, it's that they're willing to do the work to create the magic within themselves, right? Everything that you're experiencing in your outer world is a reflection of how you're seeing yourself, how you're relating to yourself, how you're speaking to yourself, how you're thinking about yourself, how you're feeling about yourself. That needs to be rock solid. And again, that doesn't mean that you're never going to have a doubt, that you're never going to question yourself. That's normal. That's part of living a human experience. But we want to come back to the truth, right? And the truth is that you are the one for someone, okay? And many someones, right? So whether you need 10 clients or 20 clients or 50 clients or 100 clients to grow your business to the level that you desire to get it to, doesn't matter, right? Because if you know that you're the one, then you will magnetize however many people that you desire to work with easily and consistently, right? So that's the first thing. Let me just check my notes to see if there's anything else that I wanted to share here. No, I think I got it. The second thing that I want to share with you about being able to play a bigger game and unleashing your potential is I really want to talk about pricing. And I help people create high ticket offers. And my clients will charge 5K, 10K, 30K, 50K, sometimes even 100K. And I never tell a client what to charge because it's more of a feeling thing, right? You've got to be the one who can stomach receiving whatever the price is that you desire to charge. Now, what I do is I help my clients see their value from a much higher perspective so that they can stand behind the fees that they actually desire to charge. It's my belief that our desires are our soul-seeking expansion or expression, if you will, right? And so it's my belief that if you desire to charge a fee, you already have the ability to do so. You just got to stop telling yourself all the reasons you've been telling yourself why you can't command those fees, whether you think it's because people won't pay you that much or, you're not good enough yet or whatever it is, right? We need to deal with that. So I don't want to talk about the creation of the offer today because quite frankly, it's pretty simple. I can help a client knock that out in 60 minutes or less, right? What I really want to talk to you today is about your perspective on your pricing. This is huge because if you desire to charge more and you continue to undercharge, you're actually out of alignment. And the thing about making sales consistently is your alignment. Your alignment with what it is that you're offering, your alignment with who it is that you're offering it to, your alignment with how much you're charging for it. All those things need to be in alignment. And so if you desire to charge more and you keep telling yourself you can't, you're actually out of alignment, right? Now it's okay if you're charging whatever you're charging and you don't have a desire to charge more, then you're in alignment with your pricing. But if you desire to charge more and you're undercharging, not so much, right? So let's talk about the pricing. I really want you to, if you're desiring to charge more and you're not yet giving yourself permission to charge more, I would desire for you to have a shift in your perspective. What I want you to understand is that, you know, when a client will come to me and they'll say, for example, I'll never forget, I had this client who said to me, well, I can't charge more because nobody will pay that much. And I said, well, how do you know that? She's like, well, my mom said that nobody's going to pay me that much. My husband said no one's going to pay me that much. I'm like, what do they know? What do they know about your business and how it helps people? What do they know? They don't know how much your clients value what it is that you do. You've got to know that, right? Another thing is, I want you to understand that pricing is subjective. Value is subjective, right? I remember reading a story about, I can't remember the name of the artist, but he sold a duct taped banana to a wall for $120,000, not once, but twice. And then he sold a third art piece for $150,000. He made $390,000 within a weekend, selling 3 plain old bananas that you can buy in the supermarket for, I don't know, 20 cents, duct taped to a wall. Why? Because he saw value in it. And because he saw value in it, the buyer saw value in it. Now, there were 3 people who bought. There were 2 private art collectors and then a museum, okay? So there were 3 people who saw the value that he saw in it. There are how many people who saw the art and they thought it was absurd? I personally don't get it, right? But it's not about me not getting it. It's about the 3 people who bought it and they got it, right? And they were willing to invest at that price point because they got it. Now, that wouldn't have happened had he not believed in the value of his artwork. Your work is art. There's no one in the world who can do what you can do. It doesn't matter how many other coaches are in your niche. There's no one in the world who can do what you do because of who you are, because of your stories, because of the way you think about explaining things, because of the questions that you know to ask that no one else would know to ask through your own intuition. There's no one else who can do what you do. So you've got to determine what you believe the value is of that. And one of the things I always say to my clients is that no matter what you choose to charge, no matter what price tag you put on your programs, it's insignificant compared to the value that people get. Insignificant. And that's the thing that we have to understand. You can't go into the marketplace sheepishly, fearing that no one's going to buy when you raise your fee. You've got to go into the marketplace knowing that for the right person, they will buy. And not only will they buy, they will happily invest in themselves through you for the transformation that your program provides to them. But you've got to know that. If you show up in the marketplace, if you raise your fees and you show up in the marketplace and you're questioning, well, nobody's bought yet, so I don't know if people are going to buy. And that needs to be resolved. When you resolve that, people buy. People buy because they want it, right? They want what it is that your offer can help them achieve. So you've got to understand that about yourself, right? You've just got to decide for yourself what it is that you want to charge, and you have to believe that as long as you believe the value is there, there will be people who believe the value is there also. You know, there are some people who charge very little for the work that I do. I don't charge very little, but there are also coaches who charge way more than I charge for something similar, right? Because it's never going to be exactly the same. Who's right or wrong? There is no right or wrong. We just decide. We just decide. And when you decide and you can walk in the confidence that you know that what it is that you're offering is worth every penny and then some, that's when the clients will show up and they'll gladly pay you. You know, when I went from, I'll tell you my progression of charging. I've charged $2,500 for a 90-day package. That was my very first offer. My second offer was not, I just doubled the price on that same package. So it went to $5,000 for 90 days. Then I doubled the price again and I went to $10,000 for 90 days. And then from the $10,000, I went to $25,000 for 90 days, right? Started feeling myself more. But I could have charged $25,000 from day one if I wanted to. if I had the confidence in myself to do so. Okay. And then I went to 25, from 25,000, I went to 50,000 for a group, for a mastermind. And then I went to 100,000 for private, right? So I mean, I have different packages now. So 100,000 for private is for a year. I still have a 90-day container, right? But my point is, I had to decide that my work was worth it for the client to show up and pay me. I had to have the courage to show up. I had to have the courage to surrender to my desires, and the client showed up and paid me. That's how it works. It doesn't work in reverse. When we're waiting to see evidence before we decide that we're going to do the thing that we say that we want to do, it doesn't work. You don't get anywhere from that place. You have to decide for yourself first. All right, so again, the value and the pricing, the value is subjective. So you can literally charge whatever it is that you want to charge. You have to stomach receiving it. You have to be open to receiving it for it to come in. All right, the third thing I want to talk to you about is client results, because a lot of times, one of the hesitations my clients have about charging more, or the fears or concerns or doubts that will come up, is around clients' results. So they think to themselves, well, and they'll even confess to me, I want to charge 10K. I want to charge 30K, but I'm afraid that clients won't get results, because one client way back when didn't get results. And I used to struggle with this for a really long time, a very, very, very long time. And so it's no wonder that people come to me and they have this fear, because it was something that I had to overcome. And it was something that, if you don't resolve this issue, will hold you back in your business, whether you decide to charge more or not. Even if you decide to stay at whatever your fees are right now, if you have in the back of your mind a fear that clients won't get results, you're not going to sell as consistently as you desire to sell, probably not even to the right level of clients, right? So the thing is, you have to remember that championships are won when both the coach and the athlete bring their A game. So what I mean by that, it's a partnership. The client's results are an outgrowth, if you will, of the partnership, not just the coach, but the coach and the athlete or the client working in tandem. So you can be the most powerful coach in the world. Your container can knock people's socks off. If a client shows up and they're not doing the work, or if a client shows up and they got some stuff going on and they're just not in alignment, they want it, they really want it, but they're just not in alignment, or the timing isn't right for them and they don't get results, that doesn't make you a bad coach. Doesn't make you a bad coach. If a client doesn't get results, it does not invalidate the value that you bring to the marketplace. Doesn't do that. You're not raising your fees. This is one of the things about raising your fees. I don't believe your fees should be raised. I don't believe anything that we do, let's put it this way, should be dependent upon anything external. It has to be dependent on what you feel inside. So your fees, when you raise them because you have the desire inside of yourself to raise your fees. You don't want anything that you do in your business to be dependent on anything external, to be dependent on clients' results, to be dependent on your results, to be dependent on engagement on your posts and any of that kind of stuff. Because if your sense of worth and value is dependent on something outside of yourself, you're going to struggle. You're going to be lost, right? Because people's opinions are fickle based on what they're doing and what they're going through. So you want to make decisions for yourself about your business based on what's going on within you. And what I mean by that is based on what your intuition tells you to do, not what your fear tells you to do, right? So one of the things I want to be careful of is I'm not saying that clients don't do the work because they are lazy, right? There are a lot of clients who will come into programs and they truly desire the result, but there's some other stuff that they have to move through. So you've got to be really clear about who you want to work with, right? Where does a person need to be in their own mental, emotional, spiritual development to get the best benefit from working with you? Who are the clients that you're going to be able to deliver the biggest result for, or influence the biggest results with the least amount of effort on your part? That's the real work here, right? So it's about really figuring out who do you do your best work with and calling in more of those clients. All right, because one of the things that I don't want to see happen is, and I've seen it happen so many times, is let me just give you another example here about having the right partnership. If you attract clients, or if you've attracted clients in the past who were not, it wasn't the right fit for whatever reason, not that you were bad or they were bad, it just wasn't the right fit for whatever reason. Does it make sense for you to believe that you're not a good coach? No. It'd be like dating or even being married and the relationship didn't work out. You then deem that you're not relationship worthy and you stay single. You become a cat lady. Like, that doesn't make sense. What would you do? You would perhaps assess how you showed up in that relationship, but you'd come back to the truth that, okay, I learned a few things. It's going to help me become even better at what I do. And I'm the one, and I'm going to call in another client and another client and another client and another client. Like, that's how it works, right? But you've got to be careful of going into the space of doubting yourself, because I've sat there for a long time. I've had clients sit there for a long time, and that's what holds them back. It's the constant tape that's playing in your mind. Well, this client, when I first started my business, didn't get results. And so that's not how it works. And another thing about results is, I believe that the more sophisticated buyer understands that success is a journey, it's not a destination. That working with you is going to help them excel in whatever area, like, how do I want to say this? On a specific timeline is really what I want to say, right? So there's this continuum. They're going to continuously grow and develop, right? And you might work with them at this part of their growth and development, and then they may go on to another coach and they're going to work with them at this point, and so forth, right? If you look at Tiger Woods, for example, how many different coaches has he worked with? There were some coaches who helped him win major championships, some coaches who didn't. He just kept going because he's an athlete. It's the same thing. If you see your clients as victors, not victims, then you trust that they're going to keep going, right? If they desire a result, they're going to get the result when they are aligned and when it's their own timing. Make sense? All right. So I will tell you that making sure that I sign clients who are fit is huge for me in my business. And so I recommend that if you've worked with people who, for whatever reason, you didn't feel like they were the fit, that you do some work around that to get clear about who is going to be the person who gets the most benefit from working with you. It's one of the reasons I have in my Powerhouse on Fire program, which I'm going to talk to you about in just a moment. It's one of the reasons why I have a love it or leave it guarantee. I want to make sure that I protect myself as well as my clients, right? To make sure that when we're working together, it is the right fit. If it's not the right fit, then we shouldn't be working together. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm not a great coach and I'm not the one for the right people. It doesn't mean that client is not a great client, but is best for someone else. That's how it works. So what I'd like to do right now is talk to you a little bit about Powerhouse on Fire. It's a program that I really think for someone who's a powerhouse and is desiring to take their life and their business to the next level, this is the program for you. We talk about, and I'm just going to go through it really quickly for anyone who's interested. If you are not interested, feel free to hop off right now. But if you are interested, let me just share with you a little bit about what it is, who it's for, and what it can do for you, right? So this is a program that I created because it really encapsulates everything that we've talked about here, and then some, right? We talk a lot about leadership. We talk a lot about, your strategy and your lead gen and all that kind of stuff. But I think that what we've talked about here is the most important stuff. Number one, it's the mindset. And not just mindset. It's also emotional mastery, right? It's your ability to keep coming back to the truth of who you are, to keep coming back to the realization that you are the one. That's not just a mindset thing. It's not just positive affirmations. You've got to feel it. You've got to shift your state of being, okay? So we do a lot of that deeper work in this container. We also do the stuff about your offers and your pricing, making sure that you're selling stuff that you feel aligned with, that you're charging at the prices that you feel aligned with. If not, what do we need to shift, right? We also work on, identifying who your ideal clients are. What are the strategies that are best for you to bring them in? Because The reality is growing your business, like I mentioned in the beginning, is really simple. But it's these distinctions that we've talked about here today that make the biggest difference between someone who feels like they're stuck at 5K or 10K a month, or someone who's, doing 20K, 50K, or 100K plus per month, and doing so with a greater sense of ease than the coach who might be making less. That's been my journey. It's been my journey that for me to make more money, it wasn't about me working harder. It was about me making the shifts that I shared with you here today. It was about me seeing myself differently, me thinking and feeling about myself differently, and showing up in the marketplace in a different energy as a reflection of that. And that's when more money came in with more ease. Okay. And so that's what I teach in the Powerhouse on Fire program. It is it's a coaching mentoring program / mastermind. So the way that it works, it's a 12-month container. The way that it works is that every single month we do what I call Better Your Best intensives, where we actually spend time, number one, looking at what your big vision is, and then we break it down into bite-sized chunks. So goals that you set every single month. And every single month, what we're doing is evaluating your success. Right? We're going to celebrate the success, but also evaluate what can be done differently to better your best, right? What tweaks need to be made to do that, so that we know that we're going to hit the big vision by the end of the program. We also do 3 group coaching and mentoring calls every single month. So that's where I coach you to your breakthrough. Whatever it is that might be keeping you stuck, we work on breaking you through that. The idea of this container is, while it's going to be a lot of fun, it's also designed to expand you. It's designed to help you become the version of yourself for whom achieving the goals feel like child's play. The version of yourself that you've probably been hiding from for a really long time. That's really what this program is about. It's about you finally feeling like you're on fire, feeling the sense of aliveness, feeling the sense of joy, feeling the sense of passion, right? And the unstoppableness, if you will. We also go through the training, like I mentioned before. You get access to training modules, and I will be dropping new training content as we go through the year together. And the training ranges from the offers and the pricing. It also includes the marketing strategy and the sales strategy and the lead gen and leadership and all of those kind of things that will really help you propel to your next level. Now, what I want you to understand is that this program is not training heavy. That's the thing I want you to get, because you likely don't need more information. What you really desire and need is transformation, right? So the training is there and it's available to you to help you make whatever tweaks need to be made. But this isn't about throwing the baby out with the bathwater and starting over from scratch. This isn't about you spending weeks learning new content, right? This is about you developing into the version of yourself that you desire to be, about you showing up fully as the leader that you're meant to be. That's really what this program is focused on. You do have some of the training modules there, again, for those tweaks, but it's not about information, if you will. All right. We also do quarterly events where we come together and champagne toast your successes, as well as plan for the upcoming quarter. And you have access to a private Facebook group where you get to be in community with other powerhouses who really inspire you to play a bigger game. People who are leaping as high, if not higher than you. People who are going to celebrate with you. People who are going to champion your success. People who are going to stretch you, right? When you feel like shrinking from your big idea, we're going to huddle together and hold you accountable to your vision. That's what this container is about, all right? So if you're desiring to take your business to 20 to 50K plus per month, if you're desiring to show up fully as the real you, if you're desiring to be in community with women who can, really celebrate you along your journey of success, then Powerhouse on Fire is really something to consider. I think I mentioned earlier that there is a love it or leave it guarantee. So it's a 12-month container. And if you step in and within the first 60 days, you're not in love. Like, this is not, it doesn't feel like it's the perfect fit for you and the direction you want to take your life and your business in, you are more than welcome to leave. We will part ways as friends. All right. Because again, I want to protect you. I want to protect me. I want to protect our community, right? We only want people in who want to be in. After 60 days, we're locking and loaded, right? So we're committed to taking your business to the moon, right? So if that's something that you feel called to step into, if you have some more questions that perhaps I didn't answer here, feel free to send me a private message. Or if you know that you really want to talk about this and figure out how to get into it, you can go to www.powerhouseonfire.com. www.coachingandleadership.com/apply to book in a time to speak with me. So I hope you got the value that you came here to get.